Okay, today I'm gonna explain why I actually like a more in-depth um, review of using half centers um, for FTO and why I think that they're actually um, not just like as an option, as kind of like I mentioned or talked about in my original half centers video. Um, how I think that they're actually probably optimal as a default. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that your first thing that you should look for immediately should be for half centers. If you happen to see like an easy center, then sure, do it. But half center is going to give you more flexibility. Let me explain. Um, so let's mix this up a little bit more. Okay, so we're just gonna start off. There's this, and this actually we could actually just make a center here. Um, so if you really wanted to, wait, that's dumb. Sorry. No, you have to do it like that. Yeah. So we made a center there. Sure. And I was very lucky for that case. So the next in my colors could be orange. Then you get to solve either of these for their part that has the large trap, which I still think should be called the other way, but whatever. So I'd probably do something like that. Oops, no, sorry, no, I wouldn't. I'd do something like that to solve the bottom one, and then like, oops, no, like that. Whatever. And we solve it. And that's actually a pretty good centers case for all of it, just because of how lucky the first one was. The ending was not particularly lucky. And here's where half centers come in. Um, so if we're doing half centers, the first thing that I notice probably would be this pink right here. So I'd go like that. We've got our first half center. And here's where half centers are kind of different. Half centers, you still, I believe, build as many parts, but the flexibility of where each thing goes is very different. If that makes any sense. So basically, like, I've got this. And I'm going to put this over here. Now I can choose to build the large trap for red, which I've got a purple, or it's not like amazing, or orange, which I think probably works better because I can do something like that. Now, for the rest of this, we can now look for nice cases for either center, so pink or orange. And I'd imagine no, it doesn't really work for red. Yeah, it doesn't work for red. It has to be one of the ones that you built, as far as I'm aware. Now, orange is fairly easy. It's the better option. Orange can be done like that. If we wanted to do pink, we'd have to do something like that. And that's not what we want. So we'd probably go with orange. And now we actually can do these like a few ways. We can like solve it to a turn off, and like we can then solve like for the red that would be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you can. I'm not entirely sure actually. I wouldn't do that. I've never tried that. But then we can solve pink, and we can do that like that, and we solve it from the back two spots. So yeah, basically, it's going to lead to a lot more flexibility. I'll kind of try to showcase that again. Okay, so I'm looking, and normally you don't have this much time to look, and so you just would jump to something. So I'd probably do something like that, and then I'd see there's that, but I'm not seeing like anything impressive immediately, and so my default reaction, admittedly, would be to go like this, and then one move. That was good. Move this down. We're looking for red or pink, and I see pink's like pretty good right here. Oh look, we could just go like that. Okay, and then we'll do red like this. Sorry, my turning's not that great. I haven't really been turning FTO. I cut a fingernail. Well, like, it's like pretty bad. It's right here, so I can't do a lot of. I'm not able to do a lot of solves lately. And then yeah. And so like, just doing half centers, you're probably not going to be thinking about that during your solves. So I just kind of thought I'd bring this up. Some of you might have been like very obvious, do this. But yeah, while we're at it, let's do it again. You can see there's like quite a bit of orange, so whatever. Let's do orange. Oh, like that's like a lot of orange. We can just pick whatever one. It really doesn't matter. We can actually solve the orange now if we want, but for the sake of this, we're not going to. So we've got red, green, so we can go like that. Oh look, we've got all of red solved right here. Oh look, we can like, do that. It's good. It's really good. Except when you do what I just did, and you get, you don't orient them. Yeah, but that's not bad. I thought I actually did them out of order because the colors were wrong. But no, I just forgot to orient the center. Orient the centers. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, basically, actually, I didn't show a certain kind of the flexibility. I mentioned it. I didn't show it. Okay, so we're going to do just because like I have it's in front of me. We're going to do that like that for the red, and maybe the best option right now would be something like that, except that's not because color scheme's wrong. I'm dumb, but whatever. Ignore the fact that I'm dumb. Let's say we want to. I've only shown flexibilities building the second center right here, but you can very easily do it over like this. And like obviously this isn't an efficient solution, but my point is that you can be flexible to any any side, and that was really inefficient, but also whatever, not the best solution. My point is just that you have lots of choices. Sometimes the choices can be overwhelming though. I know some solvers don't want choices, they just want what's right in front of them to be a decision that's already made, if that makes any sense. But yeah. So I'd really encourage people to look into half centers. Maybe it doesn't work for them, and that's fine. Half centers, I don't think, is something that even everyone uses on 4x4, and I know it's very popular. But I'd highly encourage everyone to look into half centers and like doing probably like an average of 100 with half centers. Keeping in mind the flexibilities. This half centers thing I found has been very helpful in helping me gain e-center neutrality. Just because I think you're building less in a little bit of time. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm doing something different and I'm thinking about it different. But oops. But yeah, I would really only try to take advantage of this with e-center color neutrality. Like if you're not going to e-center color neutral, then everything that I've just said about flexibility probably isn't true. I mean, maybe you're like able to build the remaining things after you have the large traps, but I'd still recommend, if you're going to do this, also switch to e-center color neutrality.